The summary of Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, brought to you by Click-Through College. Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, by Robert B. Cialdini is a seminal book on understanding the underlying mechanisms of persuasion and how these mechanisms affect our decisions in everyday life. The book covers 6 key principles of persuasion: reciprocity, commitment and consistency, social proof, authority, liking, and scarcity. Reciprocity. The principle of reciprocity is founded on the societal norm that emphasizes the human tendency to repay in kind what we receive. For example, if a friend invites us for dinner, we feel obligated to return the favor. This principle is widely used in marketing strategies, where free samples are given to customers in the expectation that they will feel the need to reciprocate by making a purchase. Reciprocity also has a subtle aspect where the obligation to reciprocate a concession can be manipulated. In negotiating, one might make a larger request knowing it will be rejected, then follow it up with a smaller request. The second request is the real target, and it is more likely to be granted because it appears to be a concession. Commitment and consistency. Cialdini's second principle, commitment and consistency, suggests that once people make a choice or take a stand, they feel pressure, both internally and externally, to behave consistently with that commitment. They tend to justify their earlier decision by making subsequent related choices. For example, if someone agrees to a small request like signing a petition, they're more likely to agree to a larger related request later, such as donating money to the cause. This is known as the foot in the door technique. In contrast, the low ball technique involves getting someone to commit to a decision and then changing the conditions of that decision, making it less favorable. People will often still go along with the new, less desirable conditions because they feel committed to their original decision. Social proof. The principle of social proof is the idea that people look to the behavior of others to determine their own, especially in uncertain situations. For example, if a large group of people is looking up at the sky, passerby will likely do the same. This principle is why testimonials, reviews, and influencers are effective in marketing. In situations of uncertainty, people often rely on social proof even if it leads to irrational behavior, like in the case of bystander apathy, where people follow others' inaction in emergency situations, assuming that if others aren't acting, there must not be a problem. Authority. The authority principle is based on our deep-seated sense of duty to authority. We're trained from a young age to respect and obey figures of authority, and this continues into adulthood. People tend to comply with authoritative figures or symbols of authority, even if the request is unreasonable. In the infamous Milgram experiment, participants were willing to administer what they thought were painful electric shocks to another person, simply because they were ordered to do so by an authority figure. In the context of persuasion, the principle of authority can be manipulated by showing credentials, titles, uniforms, or other symbols of authority. Liking. The liking principle asserts that people are more likely to be influenced by people they like. Likability can come from physical attractiveness, similarity, compliments, cooperative effort, and association. In marketing, this principle is used when companies hire attractive models, celebrities, or influencers to promote their products. It's also why salespeople often try to find common ground with potential customers or pay them compliments. These are ways to increase their likability and thus their persuasive power. Scarcity. The final principle, scarcity, is based on the idea that opportunities seem more valuable when they are less available. People generally hate to miss out, which is why limited time offers or exclusive deals are so effective. This principle also applies to information. Exclusive or secret information is perceived as more valuable. Scarcity drives people to make decisions quickly for fear of missing out on an opportunity, and it's often used to pressure consumers into making purchases. The limited number tactic creates the perception that scarcity is due to high demand, while the deadline tactic creates the perception that there's a limited time to act. Throughout the book, Cialdini emphasizes the automatic, often unconscious nature of these 6 principles. They are shortcuts that we use to make decisions under uncertainty, but they can also lead us astray, especially when they're exploited by others. Recognizing these principles can help individuals to resist undue influence and make more conscious, deliberate choices. Cialdini also presents an ethical perspective on the principles of influence. Although these principles can be used to manipulate others, he suggests that they should be used responsibly to create mutually beneficial outcomes. For instance, a business can use the principle of reciprocity by providing excellent service, which encourages customers to reciprocate with repeat business and referrals. Moreover, Cialdini highlights that these principles can be used not only in business and marketing but also in personal and social contexts. For example, understanding the principle of liking can help to build better relationships, while understanding the principle of social proof can help to motivate group behavior in positive ways. The book, Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion, is a deep dive into the psychology that drives our decision-making process. By exploring these principles, we gain insight into our behavior and the behavior of others. The principles of reciprocity, commitment and consistency, social proof, authority, liking, and scarcity provide a framework for understanding the factors that guide our decisions and actions. Moreover, this understanding empowers us to make more informed decisions, resist manipulation, and use these principles ethically and effectively. Finally, Cialdini suggests that while the principles of influence are powerful, they aren't foolproof. People are not always susceptible to these tactics, and their effectiveness can be influenced by individual differences and cultural factors. Overall, the book is a valuable resource for anyone interested in the intricacies of human behavior, offering insights that are applicable in a wide range of situations, from business to personal relationships. The book also extends these principles into specific practical applications, demonstrating their usage in various contexts such as sales, negotiation, advertising, and even personal relationships. For example, salespeople might leverage the principles of liking by building rapport with potential clients and finding common ground, while advertisers might use the principle of scarcity by advertising limited-time offers or exclusivity to trigger consumers' fear of missing out. Cialdini emphasizes that these principles are not inherently negative, despite their potential for manipulation. They are fundamental aspects of human social behavior that evolved to help us navigate complex social environments. For example, the principle of authority often helps us to make efficient decisions by trusting experts, and the principle of social proof can foster social cohesion by promoting normative behavior. It is the misuse of these principles that can lead to manipulation and exploitation. Moreover, Cialdini encourages readers to use these principles ethically and responsibly, creating. This is a summary of Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion by Click-Through College.